Why nobody likes HR? This is today's video. This is the topic, and it's a difficult one because I do not want to add an additional video of trashing HR. They got enough. They had enough, and at this point they are just being bullied. And probably I thought that probably I will be the last person standing up for them. But you know what? If everybody bullies that one person, or in this case one profession, then we need to stand up for that person or that profession. This is what my father always taught me. And now I got to this stage. I always get attacked that I am attacking HR. Well, HR professionals, if you haven't realized until now that my intention is just to help you, then you are beyond help, okay? And even with this video, I would like to help you because you guys are living in denial. You guys are very solitude in terms of your approach, very insular, right? And you are scared to look in the mirror. And this is what I would like to do with today's video. Allowing you watch this video at home alone. It's just you and I, okay? There is no shame. There is no making you feel bad or guilty. That's not what I want. But what I want is you guys to look into the mirror and just acknowledge the bad reputation that you have built. Acknowledge how employees feel about you and what they say, because it's not me. I'm going to give you people's opinion, okay? And you can go online. It's not my opinion. I'm going to share with you experiences, my experiences with HR, and I'm going to start with the good one, okay? Because there are good HR people out there. And I had good HR people. I worked with good HR people, and those were the ones who were very objective. Those were the ones who were professional, qualified. And here is not necessarily talking about a CIPD certificate. Here I'm talking about they were human oriented, right? Here I'm talking about they try to be the least biased. We all are biased, but they were not taking sides, business or employees, because this is the biggest mistake of everybody making, HR, managers and employees, that, HR needs to take sides. No. HR's purpose is to support the business, full stop, but how it does what matters and makes a good HR person. A good HR person supports the business by doing right by everybody. And this is very, very difficult because right by everyone sometimes is the challenge, right? But going back to the good HR people, I was trying to think about what is it that they had in common, and these are the objective ones, not really biased, fair, and the human approach. I had a HR person, three of them. They were even the personality wise, they were nice, approachable. There was one particular HR director who was not very approachable. I liked her because she was just a badass girl, very objective, very business driven, very fair to everyone. And I learned so much from her. She was all about business. She was all about supporting the managers and the supervisors and the HODs. And she always said she would not do the job for us. But she always, at the time I was in operation, she always said, guys, call me anytime, but don't make mistake for advice in terms of disciplinary, in terms of managing attendance. Because in the UK, it's a little bit, you make a couple of mistakes, you end up in tribunal. So she was really, really good at, and she was very objective. If we messed up, she would tell us and the business, you messed it up, that point goes to the employee. Or when the employees messed it up, you mess it up, this one is, on you. So, and when people see that, even if they don't like the decision, they at least say, you know what, it's fair. But let's look at what are other things that employees are saying and why they don't like HR. So here is again, once again, HR professionals, sit down and look in the mirror. Because if you can't face it, you can't solve it. It's that simple. And it's not about choosing sides. It's not about people attacking you. It's about you not listening. And that's what employees feel. That's what probably even the businesses feel, that what is the use of it. And HR is struggling. And I'm going to go back to it, how HR is struggling. So HR feels why people hate HR. You can just Google that and the answers, and the amount of videos on social media is a crusade against HR. And you guys build this reputation over decades. And you know what? Those very few who are really good out there, struggle with it. But you build this reputation. You can only thank yourself. And the approach that you guys are adopting, that, have you ever noticed that nobody stands up for HR, only HR professionals? I see it on LinkedIn, senior HR person, let me post how hard our life is. Now, this is the lack of, that level of ignorance and that level of knowing the climate and measuring the temperature of the room is what pisses people off. And I give you a very good example. During COVID, when everybody was losing their livelihoods, SHRM came out with a post saying nobody's thinking about how hard HR life is right now. No, we were not. Nobody was. I'm sorry that we did not think that you actually now have to do your job. Because we were too busy losing our livelihoods and worry about what the food that we're going to put on the table, how we're going to feed the kids and send them to school. But you were once again so ignorant and self-absorbed that you turned it around and made it all about you. So stop with these posts, because those never resonate with employees and you're going to get more backlash. You keep it quiet now, okay? Because you have a bad reputation and now your job is to build that up, okay? Because this is what people are saying about you. HR fails to be objective and fair in its approach. HR prefers, I don't agree, I'm saying what employees are saying, okay? HR prefers biased human capital management and poor communication, leaving the employee with no other alternative. Their failure to acknowledge the employee's point of view and empathize with their situation often leads to increased employee frustration. Why do people hate HR? My experience is that HR doesn't hire for performance or to create and nurture talent. It hires to mitigate risk. Employees dislike HR when we enforce nitpicky rules. So that's probably from the HR. Outdated policies, and go after the small issues rather than taking a look at the larger issue and fixing those. Because we hate HR because they bring nothing good to the table and kill people's careers. We don't know what the guy went through, right? HR focus too much on administrative and lack vision and strategic insights. Company centrism, so they focus on the business rather than the employees. Once again, it's not this or that. HR's job is to protect the business. But how they protect the business is to listen to the employees, guide and coach supervisors, managers, and leaders. HR is not there to conduct your disciplinary. HR is not there to fire the people you want to. HR is not there to do the nitty-gritty of stupid things, get into Emma had a fight with Jane. Nobody cares, okay? You as a manager, you need to do that. You need to lead your people. You need to manage them. You need to manage their working hours. So HR doesn't have to come and knock on your head when you are accumulating unpaid overtime or PHs or on not taken holidays, right? Because this is when HR should come and police you, but this is when they don't do, and employees are made to work God knows how many overtime. Managers are using the employees, and when HR needs to be there, it's not, so employees get pissed off. Why nobody's protecting us? My manager is using me. My last option is HR, but HR is closing the blind eye because HR thinks this is how I support the business. No, a good HR knows that I need to do right by the employee, because if I don't, that goes against the business. Good HR knows that if I need to do right by the supervisors, managers, and leaders, because if I don't, that goes against the business. And I need to support the business, because if I don't, that might go against the rest of the workforce. Very, very delicate, and HR is not being prepared, taught, or capable of doing it. It's a difficult task. Inaccessibility, I will come back to this one with examples. Dispassionate, intimidating, policies over people, 100%. HR people are seen as political and more concerned with their own place in the company's pecking order than with the welfare of the team, 100%. If I heard HR people talking about how can I make my employees' life easier, as much as they talk about can I have the seat at the bloody table, then the workplace would look much better, because all they wanted is the seat. Now they have the seat, but they are just sitting in there doing nothing. So that's absolutely true. Misleading job description from employees before they even become employees. Sometimes attracts the wrong hire. Inaccurate or misleading job descriptions. HR is straight lying to us about the job, the salaries, and they want us to bargain after that. Unfair disciplinary processes. It's all about hiring, processes, lack of experts, not qualified. Unfair disciplinary process, once again. HR has no purpose. They are confused. They don't know what they are doing. They are biased. They side with the business. They don't care about the employees, etc., etc. You can Google it. It's not my opinion. Now, this is where we should start, HR people, fixing the department, right? And let's talk about some clear examples, because as you can see, it's all about the purpose of HR, which I will put some links below, because you guys have given all sorts of tasks and now you are not doing anything wrong. So you are confused. I can tell you about statistics that 90% of HR professionals are burned out, stressed out, thinking of quitting. Why? Because you guys are put in a situation where you don't know what is your purpose. We can only do this with people who are unqualified. You never ask you never see a finance person asking what is their purpose. A sales and marketing person, they never ask what is my purpose. You never see an engineer, a scientist, what is my purpose. It's only HR who is asking. So there is a clear lack of direction and purpose over there, because you guys fail to stand up for yourself, and because maybe there is no such a thing as HR role, only the administrative part. And that's it. Don't get into the business. Don't ask for admin stuff. Doesn't get the seat at the table. I don't know. Now, if you want to get the seat at the table, then you need to plan for the workforce. The question is, have you given the title but not the power to do that? That's where other frustration comes, because I know a lot of HR people would like to do changes, make changes, but they are not allowed. So that's where the problem starts. But let's go back to employee experiences and where you guys lost all the trust and everything, because it did not come about overnight, right? People have learned, and it's very difficult for you, hard for you guys to regain trust, okay? So by going out and posting on LinkedIn that there are good HR people, we know. But it's very rare that we see, because these are the examples that we see. When employees are asked to work resilience of overtime and HR doesn't step in. When accessibility, when employees knock on the HR's door like that, excuse me, mom, can I come in? Now that pisses me off, because that shows that you are an arrogant. You think that you are there and above everyone. You are there to serve your employees, even if that employee is the dishwasher. No disrespect to that hard job, okay? You are the CHRO, you serve the dishwasher. That is their approach, okay? Office staff serves operation staff and not the other way around. And when I explain this to people who are sitting in their offices, they go like, really? Yes. Even last time, a month ago, we were in the back office talking about something, doesn't really matter. And there was one waiter coming in because she needed a report, something from the printer, and she opened the door and we were just at the door. And she goes like, I'm like, no, lovely, you come in. And that was one of the senior leader with me. I'm like, no, lovely, you come in, you are doing your job, you don't need to apologize for anything. You go and do your job. You're doing what you are getting paid for. So when you have this approach, employees will say, you know what, I can approach her. Because the moment employees are going into your office like that, you are not approachable. You should not be in your role in HR, because that's the basic minimum, right? So that I always pick on very quickly. If I see that, you're already done in my eyes, okay? Then when you serve the processes instead of, or your processes serve the employees serving your processes instead of the other way around. I have seen HR directors screaming and shouting at an employee. Not once, not twice. Physically intimidating employees, okay? I have seen HR personnel, when the employee comes and asks, can somebody tell me why was my salary deducted? You know, they say, oh, well, we will look into it. And then they never did, okay? This arrogant behavior during recruitment. Last week, I just had an example. Somebody was telling me that he went it's a reputable company, for an interview with the senior HR person. And the HR asked, do you have any question? And he asked, so how long have you been in this company? And the lady said, who is interviewing you here? That's not a relevant information. Now that level of arrogance, this is why we don't. And he said, you know, I'm not going to even go further, even if they ask me to go back to the second interview. How would I come to you as a HR if I had a problem and this is your attitude, right? I have seen disciplinary processes that were completely unfair. So the employees have seen everything. Employees have gone to you many, many times. And I was just reading this book because this is a really good, it's about empathy. And here is talking about a leader or a person whose leader regularly picked on that person and basically bullied her for months and months and months. And she went to HR and told them that she was working in a hostile work environment. She did. Nothing came of the situation. Several of her other colleagues called the anonymous hotline after her departure, and as far as she's aware, nothing came out of it. So employees go, they report bad leadership, poor management, and you're not doing anything. Or when you do something, you make it even worse for the employee because you don't have the tact to handle the situation. So when people's experience is like that with you, you can't expect them to talk about you nicely or say, you know what, I love HR. I yet to meet a person who says, in general, everybody will say, I had good HR people. Or I know I worked with. But in general speaking, nobody wants to see HR. We don't want to go there. It's just a bad experience. And those experiences are coming from the personality of the HR team, which we talked about, and the processes. And you know what? Sometimes employees understand that, we need to do the process because this is what the company wants from us. I have had this conversation millions of times with employees. I'm like, guys, the company wants us to do it. We have to do it. We don't need to like it. Let's do it, and let's do it in the best possible way we can. And that was it. People understand if you are genuine, if you are honest, but you don't need to make it, it's the best process ever. No, people are not stupid. Just say it. This is a crap process, has to be done because of ABC. Okay? Sometimes HR can't do anything, just follow instructions or like the rest of us, and that's okay. So, and your approach, this self-admiration approach, that, and self-pity, that, we are so good, but nobody is recognizing us. Well, you work for the workforce. And if the workforce is saying that you are not good, then you are not that good. That's performance management 101 or performance feedback, right? They are giving you the feedback and you are not taking it. I had the HR director said when I told her about something, and she said, normally I take feedback, but not this one. I was like, you're very selective of the type of feedback you are taking. But this is the situation. When I have a pregnant colleague and HR not helping her with her medical insurance, these are human being stuff, right? Or when HR is directly excluding, we don't need to talk to the line employees, they don't know, they don't have the understanding of the business. They are making the money. How do you want to implement something for the workforce when you don't ask the workforce what they want and what are the experiences with you? So this insular approach, and also you guys are not going out. You're not learning from the right people. You group together. It's like an inbreeding, the bad inbreeding. Even here in Dubai, I always see the same HR professionals together, and all they can talk about is fluffy crap vanilla thing. But what they implemented for their workforce, nobody ever talks about. Yeah, we have engagement, we have this, now we don't work on Fridays, only half day. Okay, but what is the impact? Who asked you? What is the data? How is that impacting your KPIs? The business KPIs, which you're supposed to support. You call yourself HR business partners and you got the seat. How is any of these, translate that to business performance? So HR can be picked apart very quickly by the business, because the businesses don't understand what your purpose is. Employees don't understand why you're there because you just go against them. So what's left is the admin part, which nobody will have any respect for. Like, okay, just do my contract and leave me alone kind of approach, right? So don't group together and have this inbred mindset, because nothing good comes out. Go and meet those people who you don't like what they say, because when you don't like it, it means it resonates. It hit very hard to hit. Okay? So don't group with those who are saying the things that you like, that you are so good. Your workforce is telling you not good. So I don't care what Emma from another HR professional from another company is telling you that you're good. Your workforce words are the one that should matter, not what other HR professionals are telling. Nobody cares, okay? If I'm the head of HR, I don't care what another HR person is telling. Oh, Sylvia, you are the best HR person. I care my quality, just like a leader, just like a manager, is in the feedback of my employees. If my employee is saying that I'm good for them, and then I'm delivering the business KPIs, I'm done. I'm good. I'm doing a good job. So I'm not HR, anybody, leaders. You are doing a good job not when your bestie, your senior leaders who you are, behaving like a schoolgirl and trying to do everything for that particular leader so you can keep your job and please the person, saying that you are a good person or good HR person because you have a good relationship with that person. But what your workforce is telling, This is how I understand HR. If my workforce is telling me that I'm not good, they are not happy with the HR processes, the policies, how we onboard them, how we attract them, how we say goodbye to them, how we manage the performance, then I'm not doing a good job. No matter what I think, no matter what kind of post other people say, put up, HR people, I am not doing a good job. And you guys need to do that. Now you have other people, other kind of HR people, because they are different types. The one that are very nice. They are nice to everyone, keeping the good relationship, but they don't bloody do anything. I have a HR director in one of the GCC countries. She's been there for 3 years now. She had to open 7 restaurants. And then I talked to her, do you have training plans for your staff or in these restaurants? And she says, no. What the hell were you doing up until now? Having a cup of teas with the staff so you can put it up on LinkedIn and having lunches with your CEO and the managing director so you can keep your job? Because everybody says, oh, Jessica is really good. That's not how you... Does it help? Does this help for you guys that this is how the workforce is looking at you? Please take this feedback. I'm not going to make this video longer because I said everything. But the outcome is really, if you can't face it, you will not be able to fix it. And stop this self-glorification on LinkedIn. My employer of the best employer, I'm talking on this summit and that summit, and you say absolutely nothing. Because employees see through it. They see through your inclusion and diversity agendas. They see through your well-being agendas. When you overlook the 60 hours work week and you give them a Fitbit or a Calm application. And this is where employees say, okay, HR has lost it again. They don't want to work the 60 hours. Fix that. And that's why employees are upset, because you guys are doing the small bare minimum instead of fixing the big issues, because that requires skills. That requires negotiation skill with the stakeholders. That requires strategic planning, so I can restructure the whole workforce by not spending more on payroll, but still managing the working hours and still getting the job done. That requires collaboration. That requires adjustment. That requires conflict, because you're going to have to deal with people who, no, this is how we always did. Okay, get out of my face. If this is how you always did, you always abused your staff, then you should not be here. So put your effort in there. And trust me, employees will recognize it. And when employees start embracing you, they are very reasonable. That they will understand that there are things you can't do, because we can't do everything. And then when your employees are good, the higher management will see that too. So you will have to work with everybody at the same time, unfortunately. So remember, your purpose is to serve the business, protect the business, but how you do it is by doing right by employees, supervisors, managers, and leaders. And how you do right by employees is by guiding and training and coaching the supervisors, managers, and leaders in terms of their people management practices. So when I had restaurant managers and F&B directors going overtime and saying, but I don't have enough staff, they have to work, and they accumulated 1,000 hours overtime. And I sat down with them, and I'm like, okay, it's done. I'm not going to remove your head. How can we make that, how can we reduce? And I literally spent 2 months with that person doing the duty roster. I can't remember when was the last time I did duty roster. Even when I was a manager, I handed it over to my supervisors, because that's the last thing I want to do. Teaching him how to do the duty, or not teaching him, but looking at how we can do the duty roster in a way that we are reducing the overtime hours, and we're not accumulating more. So everybody's sticking to their working hours, right? And it took me 2 months for the person to understand how it works, and him not going back to the old habit of, we just stay overnight or overtime. This is where we want to see HR. Get your hands dirty, work with your mid-management, work with your leaders, and this is how you transform your employees' experiences. And when they are all good, this is what you show. That's how you support the business. I hope that helped. Once again, is not to trash HR because we have enough of those. I don't particularly like those videos anymore because, that's not very helpful. Funny they are, and good point. But I want you guys, HR people, to listen to what's out on social media, and don't go defensive. Don't go that, oh, this is not me. Okay, maybe it's not you, but you've been there. You've done other stupid things. We all do. So just say, you know what? I've done that, but now I no longer do it. So I fixed this one. What is the next thing I do badly or wrong that I need to fix? And that's that. That's continuous self-development, which you put in our competency framework. So start practicing it on yourself. Thank you very much. Next time we talk about something else.